Jim Klauck here on the Phenomenal Business Growth Podcast. I know you're all having a phenomenal day. Jamie Hallas is joining me here on the program. Jamie, how are you?
I'm better than phenomenal, Jim, of course.
You're
How
better.
impressed
So,
are
yeah, so
you
I'm
today?
phenomenal and you're better than me because you're better than phenomenal, which is great. Hey, thank you for taking the time out to visit with me here on the podcast today. I appreciate that.
It's wonderful to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. It's great to see you again. We didn't have a chance really to talk much in Destin. And what I mean by that, everybody, in case you don't know what that is, there was a retreat this summer in Destin, Florida, that Howard Partridge from Phenomenal Business Coaching puts together with his team and invites Inner Circle members and other special guests and their families. So, was your whole family with you?
Yes, they were.
That's quite an experience, isn't it?
It is. Absolutely. It's wonderful.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about you, your family, and your business. And then I want to circle back and talk about phenomenal business coaching and how long you've been involved as an inner circle member and what it really means to you as business owners, because you and your husband are
Mhm.
in the business together. I understand he spends more time apparently than you, but you're also busy with 6 children. So that's really key as well. And but not only what you get out of it for your business through phenomenal business coaching, you're also getting some personal things out of it. And so we'll talk about that in a moment. So you guys are in the electrical business. Why don't you tell
Yes.
us a little bit about your business, where you're located, how long you've been doing it, and who you serve?
Okay. Um, we we are ICT Electric located in Rhinelander, Wisconsin. ICT Electric stands for In Control Technology. The reason it's In Control Technology is because when we went out on our own in 2012, we were really leaning on the Lord, and of course, He's in control. So we serve other business owners and homeowners in North Central Wisconsin.
Your husband has been in the business, in the industry, in the trade for some time. When did he start?
He started his electrical apprenticeship in 2001
Yeah. So for a long time.
for a
And
long time.
then you guys started your business. I understand you have about 16 members working at your company.
Yes, we have 6 team members, 2 apprentices, and 2 master electricians, along with my husband, who is also a master electrician. And then we just hired an assistant.
Yeah, and you seem to be growing, so that's exciting news.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So speaking of 6, we're going to turn it around a little bit. You also have 6 children. Now, I'm not talking about the employees and team members because they don't want to be thought of as children. You actually have 6 children with Nick.
Yes,
That's exciting.
it is.
So you were telling me before the age range
Mhm.
starting from 6 up to 17.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot to handle. And on top of that, you homeschool all of them.
Yes. Well, 5 of them now because
5
our
now.
oldest
One
graduated in
graduated.
May. So,
That's a huge undertaking because you're a wife, you're a mother, you're a partner in the business, and you seem to get it all done. Do you have any secrets?
um, well, of course, Howard Partridge and the phenomenal coaching has been a huge blessing to us.
Mm.
And he really has taught us to recognize and pull out the strengths in one another. Um, so I don't really have any secrets except God created me as a C in disc, which means I love structure and organization, and I'm able to create that structure in homeschooling and really
Sure.
rely on the strengths of my children and my husband and our team members to kind of pull it all together and make it happen.
So if you're a C type, what is Nick?
He is also an
Oh, an
SC.
SC. Okay. And that works
Mhm.
out well in your family life and in the business.
Yes. Absolutely.
Do you have team members that are D's and I's that are driving hard in those areas?
We lack in the I's, but we do have some D's, and it's great.
Yeah.
He likes to crack the whip, and we appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm a D, and D's are strong, can
Mhm.
be, but sometimes in any organization, whether it be a family or a business, it's good to have a mix of all the D's, the I's, the S's, and the C's. But I really believe if there isn't a D, some things may not get done to push because a lot of people who are in the S's and C's who get stuff done. But
Mhm.
it's nice to have some D. So you've been part of the inner circle now for what I see is about 7 years, 2016. Tell everyone the journey.
Well, I'll start with going out on our own in 2012, which of course we had prayed for a long time about. Nick was really feeling called to go out on his own.
Mm.
But we wanted to pray and wait for God's timing. And that timing came about August of 2012, where his previous employer was asking him to perform a job that was not up to code. And when Nick approached him about it, the employer really didn't seem to be concerned about it. And so we realized it was time. This was the time God had set for him to go out on his own. And it was great, and nerve-wracking. And I guess the time where we really grew in the Lord and began to recognize him as Jehovah Jireh, the Lord provides. Um, but then as we started growing, Nick needed some help. So
Mm.
we hired our first subcontractor and a bookkeeper, and quickly realized that we needed help as business owners. I was home at that time with 5 children, homeschooling, and I was watching my husband just get busier and busier, and I really had no idea how to help him. And then Nick got an email from Tom Ziegler inviting him to the October 2016 conference, and we decided to go together. And it was just an amazing experience. Immediately, we were struck by the care of the phenomenal team. We arrived thinking we had paid for a training that we didn't pay for, but they allowed us to attend anyway. So
Oh,
just, I don't know, they were just amazing.
yeah.
And we were introduced, that was before he had the business boot camp, but we were introduced to all the systems that he had, to the community, to DISC. And at the end of that conference, Nick turned to me and said, if we don't join Howard and the phenomenal coaching, I might as well just go get a job.
Wow, that's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great story, Jamie. But that doesn't surprise me. That sounds like a story that makes a lot of sense. I've known Howard for close to 20 years, and I've attended many, 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 many inner circle conference meetings and met a lot of members over the years. And the culture
Mm-hmm.
at these events is different than any other. And I'm saying this to the people who aren't familiar with going to a phenomenal business coaching event, whether it is a boot camp or the inner circle event itself. It's not a typical conference. I've been to many different conferences in many different industries, and this is one that is a family
Mm-hmm.
event. Sometimes you can bring actually children are always welcome, and sometimes at certain events encouraged.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a family feeling, and honestly, Howard is the father. He's the leader. He has a heart, and he gives it to everybody. And I tell people a lot, it's like going to church. It really is. Wouldn't you agree? Has that feel?
It does. Absolutely. The people there care for you.
Mm.
They're going through a lot of the same struggles. Some have gone through it and they can help teach you and pull you along. So it's not just Howard teaching you. And of course, he's always bringing in new speakers who have different experience, who can teach us new things. But also the community teach you and help you through the issues that you have. And sometimes your own experience is an encouragement and a help to other members. Howard refers to it as the C because we're a community of S for support, E for encouragement, and A for accountability.
Sure. It is really, really a unique group and organization, and almost everybody has a very similar story. And if you really, really want to be part of a close-knit business community for very small businesses, this isn't for large companies. You're not going to see Exxon Oil there, right? Okay. So it's for small companies. Some people are self-employed and some people have 5, 6, 7 employees. Some are doing $100,000 a year and some are doing 5 million a year or maybe more. But what's really exciting is to talk to people like you, Jamie, and hear your stories on the growth, because a lot of people say, gosh, when I started, we were pretty new, but we kind of hit this wall. We were struggling, went to Howard's events, became an inner circle member, and now 5 years later, we're not doing 200,000 at a loss. We're doing 3.5 million at a profit. And those are great stories. Yeah. Hey, Jamie, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. You've been wonderful.
Thank you again for having me, Jim. It was wonderful to talk with you and just reminisce about how amazing Howard and his community is.
Yeah. And have yourself a phenomenal day, Jamie.
You also, a once in a lifetime phenomenal day.